All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick. In this video, we'll be covering the breakout watch list for January 4th to January 8th of 2021. If you are new to the channel, I do these breakout watch lists every Sunday morning, and then in the week, either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on the week, we do an interactive live stream where I will update the breakout watch list just as new information comes in, and then also go through the comments of that live stream and take a look at whatever charts that you guys want to see. So that's more interactive. And then on Friday, I do a trading recap of all the stocks that I personally traded, how the two watch lists performed, and how the market performed overall. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel, Stock Tricks with Nick, and follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and StockTwits. So with this list, all the stocks here that we'll be covering, got 16 of them for you, have breakout potential this week. All of these are above their 200-day simple moving average, which itself is in an uptrend. They're all going to be 150% or more from their 52-week low. So we're always looking for the strongest stocks, getting stronger after a period of consolidation or pulling back. We're not trying to buy extended breakouts, but we do want to look for the strongest stock setting up. So last week's winners, MTA 11%, HIMX 9.3, and Micron 6.5. So this week is very special because we're starting that TikTok trading challenge where all the money that I make on TikTok, I'll be putting into a Robinhood account and let you decide on how that gets invested week to week. So quick example of how that's going to work out. From this video, I've chosen 4 stocks, and I'll be posting this message the second this video goes live, and you can actually choose your favorite setup of these 4 options. If none of those 4 options look good to you, you could choose the cash option, and whatever the allocation of votes here is how I'll be investing the Robinhood account for that week. So put in the orders Monday morning and sell just before the close on Friday. If that trading account outperforms my own trading account in 2021, I'll be giving away the entire fund to people who comment in that initial TikTok video. So if you haven't done that already, the link to that video will be in the description of this one. So make sure you check that out. All right, quick disclaimer. Nothing that I say is financial advice. Everything is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence. Trading comes with financial risk. So here's the stock lineup for the day. Not going to read over all of these because we'll be breaking them down on E-Trade in a second. Quick thing to point out, whenever I put stars on the breakout watch list, they're just stocks that I currently have positions in. It doesn't mean they're better than the other 14 here, but stocks that I already own. With that said, let's jump into some charts. And we're just going to go alphabetical order again. Nothing too special about that. All right, first we have AA, and you can see the green and red flags here are my buy and sell. So this is what we call a high tight flag, where the stock moves up 90% or more in 8 weeks or less, and then pulls back within 25% from the high. So very powerful setups. This one moved up 113% and then pulled down about 13%. So if it can pull back within 15%, that's even more powerful because that shows that less people are trying to get out of the stock at those elevated prices. So that pulled back. You see, I tried to trade earlier when we had these 2 daily highs basically at the same price after gapping down and rallying back up, then an inside day. That ended up squatting and I got stopped out. But then the next day it rallied back higher, and then on Friday I put the trade back on after it broke over Thursday or shortened trading week. Thursday bought when it broke over Wednesday's high. So this is a high tight flag. You see the low of the day on Thursday touched off the 8-day exponential moving average, this purple line, and the 20-day simple moving average, the green line here, and then squatted a tiny bit. Didn't close at the high of the day, but still looks very good. So if you're looking at the stock for the first time, if we open lower and then break over the high on Thursday, 23.43, that would be your buy point. If things are gapping up on Monday, I never try and chase the gap ups, because if the market pulls back at all, you're more likely to get stopped out of any new trades you put on. So something that I always look for. Next, we have AMBA. Let's do some measuring. This one I think is just short of a high type flag. Maybe if I go back a full 8 weeks, but close enough, 77%. Doesn't hit the 90%, but still very strong move up. From the top, we pull back only 11%. So where it doesn't make up, where it doesn't make the 90% move, makes it up on the tighter pullback. You can see I tried this one, got stopped out the next day. Looked like we were breaking out of all-time highs, squatted and stopped me out. But just because I get stopped out of a trade doesn't create any emotional response to the 4 letters on this that make up this stock. It doesn't hurt me. I don't try and revenge trade, but if something shakes me out and then sets up for a quality buy point, I'm gonna put that trade on again. So that happened on Tuesday, that shakeout. Wednesday, inside day, closing at the high of the day. Thursday, technically higher highs, higher lows, but basically an inside day, closing in the upper half of the previous day. You see the low of the day touched off the 20-day simple moving average and then rallied to close just above the 8-day exponential moving average. Another thing that I wanted to point out with this one is the volume, really good volume on the breakout. And then as it pulls back, things get quieter. This one, 12/18, that was a quadruple witching day, so the volume is going to be a little weird on all the charts for that day. But things got very, very quiet through here. And that's what you want to see during the pullback after a very strong breakout. So looking at this one, if we can open lower, that would be ideal, because then if we take out the 92.91, the high from Thursday, that would be your buy point. Otherwise, if we open higher, then you're looking at just a break of all-time highs, 96.80 as a possible buy point. That's AMBA. Next, we have the other one that I currently own, APPN. You see, let me zoom out. This was a really, I'll just measure it from here. Really strong breakout, 250%. And then that got sold off about 41%. After you sell off over 25%, typically you have to create a little bit longer of a base before breaking out. So not buying this first check back here, gave it some time. Did try to take this on the breakout over these 2 daily highs, but that squatted, took the trade off that day. Made a little bit of money, but not much. I bought it the second time after this long lower wick, recaptured the low from 12.23. So put it on, let's see, at 153-ish area. Looked like it was breaking out the next day, sold some into strength. Actually got stopped out of half because I moved my stop a little bit higher, but after that day, we had an inside day and another higher high, higher low, closing near the high of the day on Thursday. So this is now tightening up really well. You see a couple daily highs on the diagonal right there. So a break, again, if we open lower, then you could use a break over Thursday's high. That's 163.49. Otherwise, a break over, that would be Tuesday's high of 167.59 is your buy point. That's APPN. Next, we have ATKR, measuring this guy, 125% up, only 12, not even 12, yeah, 12% down. So nice high tight flag. What I like here is it rallied up, got stopped right at the 20-day simple moving average, checked back lower, and now we have a clear buy point. So if we break over December 28th's high of 41.93, that would also clear us of the 20-day simple moving average and this little volume shelf that's formed around this second pullback, or this first pullback here. So looking for a break over 41.93 as your possible buy point on that guy. Next, we have COHU. This one, you can see all in the right order, 200-day, 50-day, 20-day, 8-day. So all the trends are all the moving averages are in an uptrend. That's exactly what you like to see. This looked like it was setting up really well, but then kind of flushed. That would have been on Tuesday. On the next day, Wednesday, rallied back up, overtook the high, which is really impressive, and then squatted a little bit. And then this is what really sets the trade up. On Thursday, we had a very tight trading action where the low of the day was just over the 20-day, but closed over the 8-day as again. So basically, everyone was agreeing on the price on Thursday because there wasn't much volume, wasn't much price action. So that shows everything's tightening up. Um, if we can get a couple more days of tightening up or even like downward action, that sets the trade up even better. I'm going to be saying that a lot. If we get more time to tighten up, that's because I'm always looking for the tightest setups. So you could use the tightest stops. So if you're using a 5% stop versus a 3% stop, you could take more trades with 3% stops and keep your risk the same. But with this one, I'll just be looking for a break over Wednesday's high of 39.80 as a possible buy point. But let me measure that. Very strong action through here, 123%. And you can see it's been holding that price pretty well. Next, we have JHG. This one I think was on the breakout watch list last week, and I love when we have stocks that don't completely fall apart, that stay on the breakout watch list for a couple more weeks, because that just means that that price action is tightening up even more. So let me zoom out. Yeah, 80, 85, so not quite a high tight flag, need that 90% for that, but still very powerful action and good tennis ball action. Breakout, pullback, bounce even higher. The pullback here was only 8.7%. You can see average true range, that's this bottom graph here, getting very, very low. The lower that is, the tighter the price action and the bars, daily bars are. You can see how how tight this price range has gotten. Right now, the 20-day and the 8-day are basically the same price, right where the closing price was on Thursday. So just looking for a break over the high on Wednesday, 33.03, maybe just 33, break through that as a possible buy point. It's JHG. Next we have KRA. So come on. This one, 130% move up and then 24% move down. So still technically high tight flag, but has given enough time to kind of build a base out of there, which is really nice. The buy area that I'm checking out is these three daily highs, 28.71, 28.87, 28.72, all around that same action. That's showing whenever the price gets right around there, people are taking profits, selling it. So if we get a break through that point where that comes with higher volume, that shows that, okay, all the sellers are kind of exhausted at this point, and now a big buyer stepping in to shoot this even higher. Because let's see, when did this peak? October 20th. So this has had 2 months to kind of build a base within 25% after breaking out 130, what I say, 120%, something like that. And you can see ATR coming in nice and tight. And we're over this volume shelf area, so not much resistance up top here. So yeah, a break over Wednesday's high, 28.87 is my possible buy point. Next we have LAZR. This one might be a little bit early. Kind of looks like the Palantir setup that ended up failing. So a little bit more cautious about this, but wanted to point it out for a couple of reasons. First, strong breakout, 380% to the peak, but then also a very strong sell-off, 54%. Typically, I don't like to trade stocks that have pulled back over 54%. That shows that there's really uncertainty with that type of breakout. If we could say 25, 15% from the high, that's ideal. 50% then creates a lot of overhead resistance if it starts to rally up, which you kind of see with this first rally. Hit another group of sellers that probably got in up here that just wanted to get out for break even. So that sold off. Then we rallied up again, and now on Thursday we saw 6% sell off. But what I really like about this chart is the volume is showing that big buyers are stepping in through the breakouts, and then the pullbacks are coming nice and quiet, well, quieter on volume. So more people are buying, less people are selling, and then the next range or next breakout as this tightens up, more people are buying than the people selling that move, more people are buying than the people that are selling. So again, if we give this a little bit more time, if Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this kind of fades down, maybe touches that 20-day simple moving average like it did the first two times, that sets the trade up even better for a breakout, because it gives sellers, like short-term sellers, a little bit more time to get out of the trade, shake everyone out before setting up again. So ideally, we undercut the low on Wednesday. So that would be, keep moving this chart. If we can undercut $33, that would shake out a lot of traders and then get some red to green action that takes out the daily high. That would be the perfect type of setup. But if it just kind of breaks out here, takes out 36.22, the high from Wednesday, that's your possible buy point as well. So again, the strike against the chart is the 54% pullback. That's pretty heavy. You don't typically want to see that kind of action, but the volume is telling me a different story. And I might not put a super large position on, but definitely one to watch. That's LAZR. Next, we have LPRO. Zooming out, this is obviously in a very strong uptrend, 250.28, all in the right order. During 2020, they were up 240%. Really strong action. Very strong volume day on the 10th. Not sure exactly what happened that day, but had this pullback. And then what I really like about the setup is the candle on the 29th, the low 31.56, undercut the lows from the first pullback. So anyone who kind of got in here and then put their stop at the low got stopped out by just a couple cents on the 29th pullback. So now there's a new group of traders in that's exhausted the sellers a little bit. And notice the volume on the pullback versus the breakout the last couple of days of the year. Lots more volume coming in. What I'm looking for is just a break over the all-time highs, 35.24 as a possible buy point. But again, if we can get some more time of some sideways action, exhaust a little bit more sellers, and then take off, even better. That's LPRO. Next, we have Netflix, NFLX. This one has been building a very long base, let's see, since July. So I wanted to put this on because Shopify started working, Apple started working. I took the Amazon trade last week. This already actually started to work, but wanted to highlight this because you had a strong base after a breakout. Base building is good. It gives the rest of the market a little bit more juice for breakouts to work. So having a big name set up for a possible breakout is good for the market. You had this one day of big buying on the 14th. So notice the volume. Volume tells some stories. During the base building, you see volume getting a little bit lighter, lighter, lighter. There are volume spikes, but overall the average is getting a little bit lighter. And then you get that initial breakout. And then notice when the lightest volume during the whole range happens. It's in this handle, this pullback here to the 20-day simple moving average of this last cup. So that shows me very, very little sellers left in this last pullback. So all the waves here have exhausted the sellers. This last little one, I think this was what, 5%? Not many people exited the trade here. And then to end the year, we had a big volume day coming over what would have been a really nice pivot buy point. I didn't take the trade, but now, if you're not already in the trade, if we check back under this, maybe test the 8-day and then come through the high, that would be your buy point, 545.50. Or again, if we have more time, sets up, maybe next week is even a better setup. But wanted to point out kind of the base, the volume, and especially the volume during the pullback, because that's something that I like to look for. So if you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like. And if I don't cover any stocks that you think have breakout potential, leave those in the comments as well. So next we have RCKT. This one, high tight flag. Let's see, what was it up? 127% up and 23% down. So right at that upper range for the pullback, but again, volume tells a different story, or tells a good story. Really heavy on the breakout. Pullback got nice and light on volume. The rebound from that, heavier volume. The pullback from that rebound, nice and light. And then Thursday's candle really sets up the trade for me because it undercuts the lows from that last pullback. So you had the lows here, 54.64, 54.70. The low on Thursday was 54.09. So that undercuts the lows, gets those stops out, kind of sets up the trade for new blood to come in with with new money. So if we can break over Wednesday's high of 58.58, that is the buy point. Otherwise, you could use the 28th high, 59.11, just to give it kind of like another couple days through there. That's not drawn straight, but you get what I'm pointing out. So either of these days highs, if we break through that, that would be a possible buy point. Actually, I am going to go with the 28th side, just so we're over this volume shelf here. Less resistance up top if we can get over 59.11. So that's RCKT. Next, we have SKLZ. This is an IPO. I think technically an IPO high type flag, which is really rare to see. 124% up, 25% down. So right on that. So IPO high type flag. Thursday's candle really sets up this trade because of that long lower wick through here, undercuts the low from the pullback. So again, gets all those stops out, clears out the old traders, sets it up for new traders, and then it rallied back, recaptured the 20-day, recaptured the 8-day, closed above the 8-day, and all on good volume. This is going to be a little bit tricky to trade. I guess you could take a break over Thursday's high, 2035. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. Break over 2132. That would have been Wednesday's high as a possible buy point. I think we could see some sideways action on here before it takes off, but if this was all the selling that was needed and it just takes off, 2132 is the area that I'm watching. So IPO, high type flag, mixing a couple different setups to it. Okay, got 4 more for you guys. Thanks for hanging on there. TGTX. This is one that has been in a very strong uptrend the whole year. 250, 28, all in the right order. Had a really strong breakout here, missed that. But just because you miss a breakout doesn't mean you turn your back on the stock, because it can set up as a high type flag later. So this one, 112% up. This pullback here, only 12%. So very tight first pullback, but a long lower wick on the 29th to undercut the lows in this group. So until that pullback, we were right along the lows. This one shook out a lot of the stops set through here. And then on Wednesday, we had higher highs, higher lows. Thursday, we had an inside day on light volume. So a break over Wednesday's high, 54.27, is my possible buy point. Next, we have THC. This one, I don't think is a high type flag. Yeah, only 76% up, but really strong move higher. And then what I wanted to point out, average true range really coming in as the disagreement over price is getting less and less. Volume is also getting less and less until the last day of the year. Little bump up in volume that day. Now this pullback's given enough time for the 20-day simple moving average to catch up a little bit. So you could use Wednesday's high, 40.57, or the high from the 28, 40.86. That might be a little bit safer of a buy point, just because you do have a little bit more volume up here than you would like to see. So if it does start to break out through this range, or just like through here, you're going to have to get through all those people, and maybe they're all strong hands, not going to sell anyway, but there's no absolutes in trading, so I'm always trying to line up as much probability on my side as possible before taking the trade. So I'll probably be looking at 40.86 as a buy point. If you need to get a little bit more aggressive with it to keep your stops tighter, then you could use 40.57, the high from Wednesday. That's THC. Next, we have Twitter, and this is nice strong breakout through here. Let's see what that was from low to high, 44%. So those bigger names aren't going to move as fast, but this is still a quality setup because 44% up since November. And then we got, let's see, the 16th, so about 2 weeks of sideways action, sideways down action. And notice the volume. The volume's the lightest it's been this whole range through this pullback to the 8-day exponential moving average. Also with that pullback, ATR is lightening up while relative strength is decreasing a little bit, but not much at all. So I do love to use volume when I'm looking at pullbacks after strong breakouts. If it's strong volume on very large red candles, I am very hesitant to take those trades because these candles are relatively tight, because the volume is very low, because it's sitting on a moving average, the 8-day exponential right now. This all looks like a quality setup. And again, if this takes another week to form up for the 20-day simple moving average to catch up, that's fine too. But if we can break over Tuesday's high of 55.40, that's my possible buy point and what I would be looking at, because that's the high from a couple of these days through here, or the high from basically the last 5 trading days. So that's TWTR, Twitter. And last but not least, because we are just going in alphabetical order, is VERI, 250.28, all in the right order. Strong move up, 306%. And then down we had 42%. So because we're over that 25, does need a little bit more time to build a base instead of just 7 to 10 trading days and then breaking out. But had that first pullback, rallied up, hit those sellers, pullback. Now you have the stock sitting on the 20-day simple moving average. To close out the year, you had basically a double inside day, 29.60, 29.58. Yeah, so double inside day, Wednesday, Thursday. So disagreement on price recently have gotten very, very minimal. Volume the last couple days have been nothing. That's exactly what you like to see. And notice last time we hit the 20-day and we had some agreement on price, we had a kind of breakout. Was that over the pivot point? 20% breakout from the high from the 17th to the high to the 23rd. So that's what I'm looking at here. It has kind of enough time. Again, could use more time, but this looks really nice. And looking at a high of 29.81, the high from the 29th as your possible buy point. That's VERI. All right, so that is the breakout watch list for the week. Remember to go on my channel, subscribe, and vote for your winner. And check out that TikTok trading video. Drop your Twitter or TikTok handle in the comments. So if you guys outperform me this week or outperform me this year, I'll be giving that account away at the end of the year. Follow me on StockTwits and TikTok. That's Stock Tricks with Nick, and Twitter. That's Stock Trick Nick. All right, have a great week, and drop any comments of stocks that I should take a look at. Take care.